Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast. I'm Elsa W. Smith, your Maryland estate planning and probate attorney, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. We're here to empower women who value their health, wealth, and the legacies they're creating. This podcast delves into a diverse range of subjects encompassing finance, law, mental and physical health, and beyond. Our commitment is to furnish you with invaluable insights, engaging expert interviews, and enlightening episodes that address your questions on wills, estate planning, and probate matters. Remember, this is your community, and we want to hear from you. Engage with us, ask questions, suggest topics. Let's build a dialogue. Reach out to us on social media or leave us a comment below. Your input fuels the conversations we have. You can find all of our episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our upcoming content. We appreciate your support, and if you enjoy the podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star review. Your review helps amplify our reach and brings our content to more listeners. And now, on with the podcast. Welcome back to the third episode of our Probate Story series. Today, we're exploring a case based on real-life events, a legal success, but one that shows how even a solid estate plan can't always avoid family conflicts. This story serves as a reminder that while estate planning is powerful, it can't always control the emotions that come with loss and inheritances. In this episode, we'll discuss Agatha's story, which is inspired by actual events. Agatha did everything right when it came to planning her estate, ensuring her wishes were clearly outlined. But as many families experience, even the best laid plans couldn't prevent long-standing rivalries from surfacing. If you've ever seen how money and family history can complicate things, this story will hit home. Agatha was an elderly woman who lived a vibrant life, full of travel, family, and a lot of wisdom gained along the way. This wisdom led her to do what so many people put off, creating an estate plan. She didn't wait until the last minute to slap something together in a panic. Instead, she took her time while she was still sharp, full of energy, and clear about what she wanted. I always tell clients that the best time to plan is when you're in control and can carefully think about your legacy. With the help of an experienced estate planning attorney, Agatha crafted a custom will that laid everything out. She even included a no contest clause to keep things as smooth as possible between her 3 children. You'd think that with such thorough planning, there would be no problems, right? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But now, let's hear from our sponsor. Are you in Maryland or DC, embarking on your estate planning journey? Let us guide you through the process. Join us for a complimentary 15-minute call with a member of our team. There's no obligation. Check out the show notes for the scheduling link. Your first step towards securing your family's future starts here. Agatha didn't leave anything to chance. Instead of going with tradition and picking her eldest son to handle her estate, she chose her middle child, Jeremy. Now, Jeremy wasn't her firstborn, but he was the one who had his act together, organized, responsible, and level-headed. I see it all the time, people thinking that they have to pick the eldest, even if they aren't the best fit. Agatha avoided that trap, and it made a huge difference. Jeremy handled everything beautifully. demonstrating exceptional organizational skills throughout the probate process. He kept meticulous records of every transaction and communication, ensuring that no detail was overlooked. His diligence and careful management of deadlines made sure that the estate administration process progressed without unnecessary delays or complications. What truly set this situation apart was the effectiveness of Agatha's estate planning. She had taken the time to plan so thoroughly that several key assets, such as her life insurance policies and certain bank accounts, passed directly to named beneficiaries outside of probate. This strategic use of beneficiary designations not only expedited the distribution of those assets, but also reduced the complexity of the probate process, saving both time and legal costs for her heirs. It was a prime example of how proper planning can streamline even the most emotionally charged situations. Now, as we've talked about before, being a personal representative is like having a second job. And for Jeremy, it wasn't easy juggling his full-time work and family life while trying to honor his mom's wishes. So we suggested he bring in some professional help, especially when it came to selling his mom's home and dealing with the personal property. It cost money up front, sure, but those were reimbursed as approved estate administration expenses. Sometimes bringing in the experts makes everything smoother and faster, and that was definitely the case here. But of course, when it comes to families, no amount of planning can entirely prevent drama. Jeremy's older brother, Paul, decided to stir things up. And it wasn't because there was an actual legal issue with the estate. Far from it. Their mother, Agatha, had been meticulous in creating a solid estate plan, even including a no contest clause that clearly outlined the consequences for anyone trying to cause unnecessary disputes. Yet, Paul couldn't help himself. This wasn't about fairness or a genuine concern about the estate. It was about unresolved sibling rivalry and old wounds that had nothing to do with the will. Paul questioned every decision Jeremy made as the personal representative, from how the assets were being divided to how the process was being managed. He lodged complaints about things that had been settled in the estate plan, nitpicked over minor details, and generally made things emotionally difficult for Jeremy. Despite the no contest clause, which meant Paul could risk losing his inheritance if he pushed too hard, his behavior wasn't motivated by logic. It was about their family's history, old insecurities, long-standing competition between brothers, and unresolved grudges that had been simmering for years. His actions turned what should have been a straightforward probate process into an emotionally taxing ordeal for Jeremy, who was simply trying to honor their mother's wishes. And honestly, this is something I see all the time. No matter how well drafted an estate plan is, it can't completely protect against the emotional volatility that arises after a loved one passes away. Families are complicated, and grief can stir up emotions that people didn't even realize were still there. As much as we wish otherwise, even the best estate plan can't prevent the kind of emotional baggage that gets unpacked when it's time to settle an estate. Jeremy may have had the legal upper hand, but the emotional toll of dealing with Paul's pettiness weighed heavily on him, adding stress to an already difficult time. The key takeaway from Agatha's story is this: even when faced with Paul's pettiness, a well-crafted estate plan can make all the difference. Agatha did everything right. She planned thoroughly, selected the right personal representative, and took steps to minimize conflict. But probate, much like life, can be unpredictable and emotionally charged. What ultimately ensured success wasn't just Agatha's preparation, but also Jeremy's openness to collaborating with other professionals. His willingness to follow our guidance and work alongside trusted experts helped move the process forward smoothly, despite the emotional hurdles along the way. Agatha's story reveals an important truth. A solid estate plan isn't just about legal documents. It's about having the resilience, patience, and the right team of professionals to guide you through the unexpected. Even when challenges arise, the right support can help you successfully navigate probate. If Agatha and Jeremy's story resonates with you, or if you're facing similar challenges, we're here to help. Schedule a complimentary 15-minute call with a member of our team, and we'll provide personalized insights on how you can protect your family and legacy and potentially avoid probate altogether. The link to connect with us is in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast. I'm Elsa W. Smith, your Maryland estate planning and probate attorney. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and take control of your legacy.